Hi guys, welcome to my first Get Ready With Me. Keep watching if you want to see how I got this look. Okay, so first off I'm going to start with this Clinique moisturizer. I've been using this for the past couple of years and it's actually pretty good because first my skin can start off dry and then later on having a full face of makeup it can get really oily. So I'm just going to massage that around my whole face. Okay, next I'm going to use this Revlon Age Defying Firming and Lifting foundation. I'm in the shade Warm Beige and I'm just gonna dab that all over my face and then blend it in with this Bare Minerals brush. So next I'm going to take this MAC Mineralized Concealer in NW20 and I'm going to put that under my eyes, my forehead, my nose, and then my chin. I was running out a little bit so my concealer was going to be light today. And then I just blended it out with my fingers. Okay, to set my concealer, I'm going to use the Kat Von D Contour Palette, and I'm going to use the colors Lucid and Lyric, which are the two lightest shades, and then I'm going to just pat that around everywhere with an Eco Tool brush. Okay, next I'm going to take this Revlon Color Stay Pressed Powder in Translucent, and then use this fat e.l.f. brush to set the rest of my foundation. Okay, so moving on to my brows, I'm going to use this Queen of the Fill Elizabeth Matte Tinted Brow Gel in the shade Medium to Dark. I like to use this first just to get all the sparse hairs down towards the direction that they need to be and to give me a little bit of darkness since my eyebrows are so faint. Okay, so after using that brow gel, I'm going to go in with the Dip Brow Pomade by Anastasia in the shade Chocolate. And I'm also going to use this angled brush by Anastasia as well to fill in my brows. So with filling in my brows, what I like to do is start on the bottom and then draw a line just to start the shape out. Since my brows don't really have a good shape, I like to extend them a lot more than they already are. And then after I do that line at the bottom, I go to the top and then I start to fill it in and then form the shape. And then when I get to the front, I like to just do a light line in the bottom and then go up a little bit just to follow what the hairs go. Once I'm done with the pomade, I will set the brows with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel just to get everything set in place. Okay, so moving on to my eyes, I'm going to first start off with this Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Eden, which is just the white one. And then I'm just going to use my finger to pat that all over my lid. This is actually one of the best primers I've used. Sometimes people have been using concealer, but for some reason it just does not work on my eyes. After putting all the primer on my lid, I'm going to set it with the same Eco Tools brush that I used before for my concealer and use the same Kat Von D contour palette in the same shades just to set that. Okay, so next I'm going to use the Tarte Showstopper palette and I'm going to use the little light brown pinkish shade to use as a transition shade. Okay, and then I'm also going to take the Kat Von D contour palette again and then use the bronzer that is Shadow Play as an eyeshadow. And that's just going to add a little bit of warmth, and it's going to be our second transition shade. So you're going to put this in the same area that you put the other color from the Tarte palette. Okay, so after those transition shades are blended out, I'm going to take Nooner from the Naked 3 palette by Urban Decay, and I'm going to put that a little bit lower than the last couple transition shades. This is just going to darken it up. Okay, and then for the star of the show, what this main look is mainly based on, I'm going to take this quad from Ulta and take this deep forest green olive color, and I'm just going to pat that all over my lid and then blend it out. Next, I'm going to go back to the Showstopper palette and use this dark brown, almost black shade. And I'm going to put that in the outer corner with a pencil brush and then the inner corner to form somewhat of a halo eye look. Okay, so to smoke out the bottom lash line, I'm going to use that same deep brown color, and then I'm going to blend it out with one of the transition shades, which I just use Shadow Play, but you could use either one, or you could even use Nooner if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. Okay, so next I'm going to use the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner in Blackest Black, and I'm going to use the same brush that I used for my brows. I just cleaned it off, and then I'm just going to start my wing. And what I like to do is I look at where my bottom lash line starts, and then I form a line, and then I just draw it out lightly, and then I form the wing by dragging it down, and then I fill it in. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my face and then bronze it up again with the Kat Von D contour palette, and I'm going to use Shadow Play first, and then I'm going to go in with Sombre on a smaller angled brush just to contour it and darken it a little bit more, but it's not going to be a harsh contour today. And then I'm going to go in with the flat part of a Real Techniques sponge, and then I'm going to put it into that pressed powder just to pat the bottom of my bronzer and contour, because sometimes by the end of the day my bronzer can get really patchy, and by doing this it kind of helps it stay in place. Okay, so next for highlighter, I'm going to use this Becca highlighter that's in rose gold, and it's not that noticeable, so I'm going to go in again with this Ulta eyeshadow glitter one in Gold Digger, I believe, and I'm just going to put that. I know it's an eyeshadow, but it looks great as a highlight. Okay, so next I'm going to take that quad again and use that gold shade and just put it in the inner corner of my lower lash line. So next I'm going to take these Kiss lashes that I got from Walmart in a 5-pack. These are usually the ones that I use on a day-to-day basis. These are pretty simple for every day. They're not too dramatic and they're not too long, and I just like them because it just sets everything together. And then I'm going to use the Duo Lash Glue. And then I'm gonna finish it off with the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. So this will be the finished look. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you guys all enjoyed.